questions. That's all you need.
Good morning, America. This morning, clash in the cabin. A new passenger weighing in on those tense moments on board an American Airlines plane.
Hey, bud, you do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
I think he was overly aggressive.
All escalating after a female passenger was brought to tears. And the stern response from the flight attendants union this morning.
Approval rating, our new ABC News Washington Post poll, how Americans view Donald Trump's presidency as he heads towards 100 days in office. Is there any voters' remorse? Where he's getting high marks and where he is facing criticism.
Wildfire battle, the state of emergency in Florida, where more than 100 fires are scorching their way across the state right now. Homeowners heartbroken. All they worked for up in flames, then reduced to rubble. The intense battles on the ground and in the air to get the upper hand.
Caught on camera, school bus emergency. Look at this, the back door swinging open, a 4-year-old girl hanging on for dear life, and the driver in the right place at the right time.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And we do want to take another look at that video. A 4-year-old girl falling out of the back of a school bus, knocked unconscious. Luckily, an EMT who captured that video from his dash cam was right there. That little girl is okay this morning. Happy to report that. We're going to have much more on that coming up on the show.
Really hard to watch, but a happy ending. Cannot emphasize that strongly enough. But we want to start here with our top story. The just released ABC News poll giving us an intriguing window into how Americans view the presidency of Donald J. Trump as he approaches the end of his first 100 days. 42% of Americans say they approve of the job the president is doing. That is lower than any other recent president, who on average had a 69% approval rating at the 100-day mark.
That said, there is very little buyer's remorse amongst Americans who voted for Trump. Look at this, 96% of them say that they would vote for him again today.
Fascinating. The poll examines America's attitudes about all sorts of issues. Only 34% approve of the president giving his daughter and son-in-law major positions.
But 54% say it's not a conflict for the president to spend substantial time at commercial properties that he owns, such as Mar-a-Lago in Florida.
This weekend, however, the president is in Washington, and that is where we find ABC's David Wright, who has more. David, good morning.
Good morning, Dan and Paula. You know, that first 100-day mark is generally considered the honeymoon period for any new administration. It's a president's best chance to build on the momentum of a campaign victory. But this new ABC News Washington poll, for Trump, there is no honeymoon. President Trump paid his first visit to Walter Reed Medical Center this weekend, pinning a Purple Heart on a wounded soldier. At this point in his presidency, Trump has the lowest approval rating of any modern president, lower even than Gerald Ford right after Watergate. And yet, 96% of Trump's voters say they have no regrets. Trump gets high marks for pressuring American companies to keep jobs here in the U.S.
For too long, we've watched as our factories have been closed and our jobs have been sent to other faraway lands.
Nearly 3 out of 4 voters, including many liberals who are otherwise critical of Trump, like that message, America First.
We're going to defend our workers, protect our jobs, and finally put America first.
There are foreign policy spots, too.
Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
51% support his missile strikes against Syria, and nearly half say he's handling the situation with North Korea about right. And 50% disapprove of major changes he's proposed in federal spending. Thousands of those critics took to the streets for Earth Day Saturday, taking part in the March for Science, coast to coast.
What do we want? Science! When do we want it? Now!
Trump, who just 3 years ago was dismissive of so-called Earth Day, fired back, insisting his administration is committed to keeping our air and water clean, to preserve our forests, lakes, and open spaces. Well, across the board, Trump's ratings lag behind those of President Obama after his first 100 days. But the poll is not good news for the Democrats either. It finds that 2 out of 3 voters, 67%, say that the party is out of touch with the concerns of most Americans. Dan, Paula?
That's a really important point, David. No big winner in this poll for sure. We're going to talk about that and much more with our chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos, who's going to be hosting this week later this morning. Good morning, sir. Let's talk about the central dynamic of this poll. What emerges is that Donald Trump does not fare super well. However, the people who voted for him, the ratings are stratospheric. So how do you square that?
Well, it's really something. It's very similar to what we saw during the campaign. All through the campaign, from the primaries straight through the general election, Donald Trump had this core of supporters who stuck by him no matter what. That's about 40%, 45% of the country. It was enough to help him win the election against Hillary Clinton, even though he lost the popular vote. The big question right now is it enough to govern effectively? Can you actually get legislation through the Congress when only your core supporters are standing by you? The second big question there is, will they continue to stand behind him as he drifts away from the kind of populism we saw during the campaign? And if the economy goes south, right now, he's also being held up by the fact that most people think the economy is doing better than before.
David Wright just brought it up. 60% say that the Democratic is out of touch with the concerns of America. And that's more than they say about Republicans and Trump, just 62%.
Well, and the fact that if you go back and rerun the election today, it actually shows that Donald Trump would beat Hillary Clinton in the popular vote. That is a big red flashing light for Democrats right there. Very dispirited party right now. Americans don't believe that the Democrats do any better on being in touch with their concerns, and that's a real predicament.
We talked about this with Matt Dowd yesterday. What's your view about this 100-day landmark? Because on the one hand, the president is calling it ridiculous. On the other hand, he seems to be trying to rack up as many achievements as possible.
Say he's done better in the first 90 days at least than any other president ever. We're going to do a reality check on that claim on this week. On the one hand, it doesn't predict necessarily how things are going to turn out. I was part of an administration that had some pretty big stumbles in the first 100 days as well. When the president left office, he had as high approval ratings as when he came in. But I think that the point that David Wright made is important. This is traditionally the honeymoon period. This is traditionally the time when the presidents have the most goodwill from the public, and Donald Trump is starting out in a pretty big hole.
Yeah, he certainly is. And in this new poll, Washington not the big winner. George, thank you for joining us. And you do have a big show coming up a little bit later this morning. He will be digging more into that new ABC News Washington Post poll on Trump's first 100 days. And George will also be going one-on-one with Jeff Sessions, his first Sunday morning interview as Attorney General. That's all coming up on This Week right here on ABC.
We do move on now, though, to the new details emerging this morning about what apparently led up to this confrontation between a flight attendant and some of the passengers on board an American Airlines flight. The crew member getting into it with a mother who was traveling with her young children and then nearly coming to blows with a male passenger. ABC's David Curley is at Reagan National Airport in Washington with more on what the video does not show. David, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. This morning, the union is questioning the action of that male passenger you were talking about. This incident, a symptom of how the flying experience is changing.
I think everybody was a little bit shocked.
That mother, said to be from Argentina, was boarding in San Francisco carrying a collapsed double-wide stroller down the aisle. That stroller reportedly ripped away by the flight attendant, nearly hitting her baby.
I think he was overly aggressive. It could have been done in a safer manner.
American Airlines quickly placed that crew member on leave, but this morning, the union representing the flight attendant is questioning the action of this man.
Hey, bud. You do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
A passenger says he was coming to the defense of the crying woman and her child.
We don't know what the story is.
I don't care what the story is. No one's hurt a baby.
A baby almost got hurt. That's what just fired me up.
The union representing the flight attendant releasing a statement saying, quote, "It appears another passenger may have threatened a flight attendant with violence, which is a violation of federal law and no small matter. This and other incidents a sign that jets are carrying more people and the rising tensions between some passengers and crew."
Crews are getting on board and they're being challenged by passengers like never before. And we have to keep order on board to keep everyone safe.
But unlike the United case in which a passenger was dragged down an aisle to make room for a crew member, American Airlines quickly placed this flight attendant on leave and apologized, putting the mother on another flight to make her connection, upgrading her to first class with a $1,000 voucher, and giving her a full refund. Now, United did offer a full-throated apology and compensation, but that came a couple of days after that incident. As for the male passenger in the American Airlines incident, we spoke to him before the union questioned his actions. No word on whether he's being investigated, but Dan and Paula, Congress is investigating and will hold hearings about how customers are being treated on airlines.
Those ramifications far-reaching. David Curley, thanks for your reporting from Reagan National Airport this morning. Also this morning, there's a brand new development in the rising tensions between the United States and North Korea.
An American is now being detained in that country, and ABC's Bob Woodruff is in Seoul, South Korea, with the latest.
Well, good morning, Dan and Paula. Yes, it has been confirmed that another American has been arrested in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang, which is about 120 miles north from here, from Seoul. Now, according to some reports, he was making his way out of the country, arrested at Pyongyang's international airport. His name so far is not known, but the Sweden embassy, which is America's only real connection to North Korea's government, has been told that he is a Korean American in his 50s and had been in North Korea for about a month working on relief efforts. This detention comes as tension is really growing. North Korea has launched missiles this year, but they are still recovering from their failed test on March 22nd. Also, the U.S.-South Korea joint training exercises are continuing over the Korean peninsula. Now, today's news really marks the third detention of a U.S. citizen by North Korea in the past 16 months. One is Otto Warmbier, who was a student from University of Virginia. I did make a request to see him on our trip to Pyongyang a couple weeks ago, but that was denied. And Kim Jong-un is clearly using these kinds of arrests as bargaining chips. Dan and Paula.
Certainly is. Bob Woodruff reporting from South Korea this morning. Thanks, Bob. And back here at home, intense battles are going on in Florida, which is under a state of emergency as wildfires are raging across the state. Some of the most dangerous fires are destroying property and forcing thousands of people to flee their homes. ABC's Maggie Rulli is on the scene in Fort Myers.
More than 100 wildfires are raging across Florida, forcing thousands to evacuate and leaving homes destroyed. Firefighters are tackling hot spots from the streets and in the air. They welcome the rain, a drizzle that's helped slow the fire's rapid spread. But it's nowhere near enough to stop this massive blaze in drought-ridden Collier County. It's already charred nearly 6,000 acres, and it's only 20% contained. Near Orlando in Polk County, this fire racing through neighborhood streets shoots flames up to 150 feet in the air. Fire officials there saying they now suspect arson.
It is strange that the fires are popping up where they are popping up.
And in Lee County near Fort Myers, that fire sparked by a cigarette is finally contained, but not before leaving 400 acres and multiple homes behind in ashes.
It jumped from one place to another, and some houses were not even affected at all.
Photos show Josiel Romero's family home before it was engulfed in thick smoke. Intense flames bursting from the seams. Now all that's left is its smoldering imprint and the charred remains of his pickup truck. His 15-year-old daughter, Thalia, was home alone when the flames came.
She started panicking. She started crying. She was just devastated. Saying, Dad, there's smoke everywhere. You can hardly see out here.
Josiel says he doesn't have any fire insurance and that his family lost everything, telling us all he has left now are the clothes on his back. Guys, we do have a bit of good news here. We're getting plenty of rain this morning, which will certainly help firefighters today. Dan and Paula?
That is good news, Maggie. Thank you very much. A lot of other news this morning, and for that, as always, we kick it over to Ron Claiborne. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning to you, Dan and Paula. Diane, good morning to you. Robert, why aren't you in Central Park?
Nice to see you.
Shouldn't you be outside, like tracking the weather or something? All right, it's cool.
Moving on.
Good morning. We're going to begin in France, where voters are going to the polls right now to choose who will make it to the second round of balloting in that country, which will decide a new president. This just days after the latest terror attack there in France. ABC's Alex Marquardt is in Paris. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Ron. Voters have been in and out of polling stations like this one across France all morning. We've just gotten the first turnout numbers. There has not been a more dramatic election in recent French history. Of course, this is taking place amid heightened security. France at its highest alert level because of the spate of attacks we've seen here over the past 2 years. Some 50,000 extra forces in the streets today. So much of the focus on the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen, whose campaign has been compared to Donald Trump's. She has vowed to crack down on immigration, on Islamic extremism, and promised to get France out of the European Union. Now, the big question is, how will that attack on the Champs-Élysées on Thursday that left one policeman dead play into this race? Some say it could strengthen Le Pen. Others saying it could cause voters to go to embattled former conservative Prime Minister François Fillon, who could be seen as a steady hand. We will be expecting to see the first results around 8 p.m. The top 2 candidates in today's vote will then go on to the second round to be held in 2 weeks in this election that could shake up the world order. Ron?
All right, thanks, Alice Marquardt in Paris. And back in the U.S., convicted Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof is now on death row at a federal prison in Indiana. Roof was transferred from his prison cell in South Carolina to the facility in Terre Haute that houses prisoners awaiting execution. The self-proclaimed white supremacist was sentenced to death for killing 9 black parishioners at a Charleston church in 2015. And vacation's over for former President Barack Obama after spending most of the last 3 months on tropical islands in the South Pacific and Caribbean. Obama is scheduled to hold his first public event since leaving the White House, speaking to students at the University of Chicago on Monday. It's the first in a series of public events he's planned during the next month. And actress Erin Moran, best known for her role on the popular sitcom Happy Days, has died. Police found Moran unresponsive in her Indiana home after receiving a 911 call on Saturday afternoon. The actress was a television staple in the 1970s and 80s. Erin Moran was 56 years of age. And some frozen hash browns are being recalled because they may contain pieces of golf balls.
What?
The potatoes sold in 9 states under the Harris Teeter and Roundy's brands are being pulled because they could pose a choking hazard or cause injury. McCain Foods, which makes the hash brown, says the golf balls may have been inadvertently gotten mixed up with the potatoes. Don't ask how that happened. No injuries yet have been reported on that. And finally, move over Kiss Cam. There's a new lens in town, Bandwagon Cam. Fans of the 2016 World Champ Chicago Cubs, remember them being gently mocked at their game in Cincinnati against the Reds. There you see one. Scoreboard showing people in the stands in Cubs gear, flashing subtitles like Cubs fan since 2016. Just bought this shirt earlier today. And the last group with thought Bill Murray had played for the Cubs. The Cubs team and fans had the last laugh. The Northsiders winning that game. That was Friday night, actually. They won again Saturday for good measure, and look what I found. Isn't that interesting?
It used to fit you, which is crazy. It used to fit perfectly.
Yeah, right. It's for you.
I'm sure that's going to make you popular with all of your Yankee
Former
buddies.
Chicago and Cincinnati fan, right?
That's right. I still root for the Cubs. Go Cubs, go.
Rob's like, is it my turn
Used
yet?
to fit.
Yeah.
I know. Good look.
By the
Do you
way,
like
no
that?
threat of Ron and I getting caught on the kiss cam after that warm up.
That was a rhetorical question.
Thank you.
We're
Good
on
to
the
see you as
Marciano
well.
bandwagon.
I
Fan,
love
though.
you for that
Always.
as well. A couple of pictures for you out of Northeast Alabama or Northeast Mississippi and the Alabama border there. Some wind. This was a reported tornado. Did some tree damage, some home damage, but no injuries there, thankfully. And also some rain across the Chattanooga area. 1 to 2 inches of rain falling there. And there's a swiftwater rescue happening. You see that gentleman hanging on to that telephone pole there. Some rain across the southeast today. This is a slow mover. It's going to continue to hit the brakes. So we have flash flood watches that are posted for eastern Tennessee and parts of the Carolinas as this low dives towards the coast, brings in more moisture. It's going to be a 2-day event. Could see over 6 inches in spots. We'll watch for that flood threat there. Those are the national headlines. Here now is your local forecast.
Well, we're off to quite a cool start this morning. Temperatures in the low 50s to upper 40s, so make sure you grab that jacket. We're catching a well-deserved break from the rain, a mixture of clouds and sunshine through this afternoon. Daytime highs getting into the low 60s, but unfortunately, more rain ahead, especially late tonight into Monday morning. It should be a pretty soggy commute, and right through Tuesday, this area of low pressure sticking around, bringing us some wet weather, so keep the umbrellas on hand.
I think these helmets used to put ice cream in there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, Pop News, I think we're getting some food. Whether or not it's ice cream, we'll have to stay tuned.
It is not ice cream, I will tell you that, but it is something to be excited about.
Yay.
I do have another story for you now, though. A little bit different than that, though. I do want to say this does end. Everything is fine, but these are those frightening moments caught on camera that we showed you at the start of the broadcast. And a little girl in a very dangerous situation saved by a stranger who was in the right place at the right time.
In this dramatic dash cam video,